The first thing that I start with is a good stance. I believe this is the foundation to be a good offensive lineman. As you can tell in this picture right here, they all look very similar. Their outside hand's down. That outside hand is slightly inside their outside foot, and their off arm is chambered in a position where they can bring it and punch and run. This is how we get to that. We have a drill that we use at the beginning of camp, so this way we all look similar. This is how I get it done. First thing I do is I take them back a yard from a line. Okay. Now, the nice thing about this is you can have as many lines as you need. You know, if you have 20 guys, 30 guys, it's not an issue. Okay. You just get them in a spot where they can get in kind of a grid, 5 yards apart, because you can do everything from this grid. First thing we talk about is step up. You can tell they step up to the line. Here's a good look from the side. Next thing I say to them is set their feet. Now, when we set our feet, we talk about getting a slight stagger. As you can see right here, outside foot is going to be to the heel of your inside foot. It's got to be a position where you can keep all your cleats in the ground. I don't want to see that back foot. I don't want to see the cleats back there. Okay, so I want to make sure they do a good job of keeping that heel on the ground. Next thing they do is down. They get to this position right here. As you can tell, still I want their head up, good proud chest, elbows on the knees. Next thing we talk about is stretch. Now, as you see the stretch right here, they're supposed to, as soon as they stretch, they want to chamber that off arm. We talk about stapling your wrist to your knee. Okay, 50 does not do it right here. He's still got his elbow on his knee. That's a problem that you're gonna have to overcome, and one don't treat lightly, because later on they get a little lazy with it and they don't get a good punch. Okay, but we want to tell them to staple that wrist to the knee. Next thing you're gonna do is stretch. When you stretch, as you can tell right there, let me rewind this real quick. You tell right there, 79 is kind of plopping it down, where 59 is stretching, getting it down to the ground. Okay, and the third part of this is, as you can tell by the side right here, is once he gets his hand down, you want to make sure that all 5 fingers are in the ground. Okay, as you can tell, the young man closest to you in the video, his thumb is not in the ground, or his pinky finger. Okay, so that's telling me that he's got too much weight back in his stance, and this is a bad stance. So this is something that we would correct and make sure it looks like the third young man and the one who's slightly unshaved. You can tell all 5 fingers are in the ground, head up, good flat back, all his cleats are in the ground. This is what I consider a good stance, and this is the base for everything we do to be an offensive lineman at Temple.